This week on Premier Preps, we're back on the grind with some baseball at a minor league park, softball in a college park, league showdowns in boys volleyball, and the best hoopers in the area show out in the Optimist All-Star Games. This is Premier Preps. We're back. Welcome back to Premier Preps. I'm your host, Nick Pecoraro. Thank you so much for tuning in. We took last week off for spring break, but we're hitting the ground running once again with another great show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start this week's show at Sutter Health Park, home of the Sacramento Rivercats and future home of the Oakland Athletics, as just announced this past week. And two nearby prep programs, Florin and Rosemont, got to show out on a diamond where some of the greats of the game have developed on their journey to the big leagues. That game happening on Monday night. Couple of small schools getting to play in the big yard. Florin and Rosemont playing at Sutter Health Park, home of the Sacramento Rivercats. Top one, Rosemont with a runner on third. Kenny Hughes lifts a fly ball to shallow center, but it's plenty deep enough to score the speedy Jay Mitchell from third, 1-0 Wolverines. Two batters later, Sean Bell at the plate. He shoots it the other way. Looks like a routine grounder, but the throw squirts away. That'll allow both Aiden Wohlers and Nathan Coates to score. Rosemont gets 3 runs in the first without a hit. Top of the second now, Nathan Coates at bat, but a wild pitch is going to bring home another Rosemont run. Keelan Hall scores, and it's 4-0. Sophomore Solomon Ponce on in relief for Rosemont. He does his job getting a grounder to James Lara at third to end the inning. But the middle relievers for Florin did a nice job out of the pen as well. Martin Vega gets one of his 5 strikeouts in just 2 1/3. And then Derek Smith came on for the next 2 2/3 and racked up 5 punchies of his own. Florin relievers combined for 12 strikeouts on Monday. But Rosemont wasn't done at the plate. Runners in scoring position for Tato Yokoi. He does his job with the sac fly to right. Aiden Wohlers comes in to score, and it's 5-0. The next batter, Sean Bell, goes right through the wickets of the Panthers' second baseman. Kenny Hughes will score from second on the error. No play at the plate, but you got to dive home in the minor league yard. Rosemont leads 6-0 after 5. Florin trying to get something going in the 5th. Mason Arp walked the bases loaded, but he comes back with back-to-back strikeouts to end the threat unharmed. Bottom 6 now, the Panthers finally push one across. Tim James lays down a bunt, just trying to move the runner over, but his speed makes it a tough play at first, and Eduardo Ramirez scores. We nearly have a Darren Baker situation at home with the bat boy. Where's JT Snow when you need him? But in the bottom of the 7th, Keelan Hall comes in to close the door on the Panthers. Could this be a springboard victory for the Wolverines?
A lot of us have played on a lot of not great fields for a long time. So getting to play here, a lot of us have grown up, watched games here this summer. It was awesome. I mean, it was beautiful. We've played a lot of tough games this year, a lot of really good teams, and we've not given up once. And so this is a team where we only have a couple senior upperclassmen starters, so we got a lot of young guys, a lot of freshmen, sophomores stepping up. So I don't think a lot of people really understand that, and so I'm really excited for the future of this team too.
To the volleyball court now, where only 3 weeks remain in the regular season for 2024, so teams are vying for playoff positioning and league championships, and that was certainly the case on Tuesday night as 5-1 River City was trying to chase down 6-0 Monterey Trail for the driver's seat in the Metro League. Monterey Trail looking to stay unbeaten in the Metro League, but River City had something to say about that Tuesday night in West Sac. First set, this is the start of a big night for MT outside Darren Brown. Off the block, and folks, he was just getting warmed up. But the first set would go to the Raiders as Peter Yimbo puts the hammer down. RC takes set 1, 25-20. Second set, Darren Brown off to another hot start. He puts it straight down right here. But River City trying to claw back with some defense. Ruslan Albertov with the big block. And then Daniel Kolesnikov gives the Raiders an 18-17 lead with one of his 8 kills. Brown hits the deck this time. River City tries to bang it home, but Vanell King is there for the sophomore stuff. We go to extra points, but just like he started in the second, Darren Brown closes the set with a bang. Monterey Trail ties things up at 1 game apiece. Third set, Brown picking right up where he left off. Man, you can put somebody's eye out with that thing. And then once more for Brown. This one ricochets into the crowd. The youngster in red tries to keep it alive for River City. But there are rules against that set in place somewhere, I'm sure. Point Mustangs. However, River City would hold on to take set 3. Kolesnikov puts it away and gives RC a 2-1 lead. To the fourth, Darren Brown stays hot. He starts firing it my way. Not sure what I did to deserve that, but it's all good. River City gets one back, though, as Kolesnikov stays hot. But the Mustangs have some other guys who can swing it as well. Zach Vang getting in on the fun. And then Drayden Goulat's denial wins set 4 for Trail. A first-place battle in the Metro League, and we're going 5. Of course Darren Brown was going to get his in the 5th. He leads the entire section in kills, by the way. But we're trading points in the 5th as Kolesnikov somehow finds the back corner. And then Peter Yimbo doesn't need as much space to tie things up at 14 in the 5th. But in the end, it was none other than Darren Brown who puts away match point for the Mustangs. 42 kills and 21 digs for Brown. And Monterey Trail improves to 7-0 and remains in the driver's seat for the Metro League title. Well, if you thought we were done covering high school hoops this year, think again. Saturday at Sacramento High School, the annual Optimist All-Star Games took place, where the cream of the crop in the Sacramento area came out to ball out one last time, representing their schools. 4 games taking place on Saturday between the boys and the girls. Here's what it looked like. 4 games on Saturday at Sac High for the Optimist All-Star Games. We start with the small school girls game, the North playing with just 5 players total, and the South pouncing in the first. West Campus Leilani Edinburgh finishes with the swoop and the scoop. Leilani had 15 on Saturday, but the North gets things going with Rio Linda's Tony Gutierrez. She also had 15, but the South leads 19-6 after 1. Second quarter, the multi-sport star Zakia ABDUL-AZEEM from Fortune finishing strong in the paint. And then for the North, these two were going at it in the Sac Joaquin Section Championship game. Now Cass Craig of Bear River and Ellie Gunter of Valley Christian working a nice 2-man game together. Another Bear River Bruin, Chrissy Kelly, caught fire in this game. This is one of 5 3-pointers for Miss Kelly, but the South kept pouring it on. Zakia ABDUL-AZEEM cleans up the offensive glass for a team-high 16 points and 1, and the South is in cruise control as Pioneers' Olivia Gill puts on the finishing touches. South wins 67-47. With 19 points, Bear River's Chrissy Kelly was the North's MVP, while Zakia ABDUL-AZEEM took the honors for the South.
Coming into Fortune 10th grade, it was coming back from COVID, so it was a lot. Trying to get back in shape, from eating all that junk food and stuff like that. So just to everybody to see my hard work throughout the 2 years that I've been at that school and then just get nominated for the All-Star Senior Game, it really meant a lot to me because that means everybody was seeing my talent and saw how hardworking I was during the seasons that I was at Fortune.
All right, we head to the boys' small schools game where Bradshaw Christian's Josh O'Neal got off to a hot start in the first on his way to a team-high 17 for the South. But check out 12 Bridges big man Jacob Gilchrist. The UC Davis commit stops and pops and gets the 3 to drop, nothing but net for the Raging Rhino. Cordova's Amir Sabir had his outside shot working as well on Saturday. 11 all-star points for Sabir. But this man led all scorers, Kenneth Brown of Mira Loma going hard in the paint for 2 of his 21. But it's just a 2-point game after 1. In the second, North trying to separate. Kobe Wesley of Leroy Green Academy, the NPAC MVP, gets the and 1. And then down below, another and 1, this one courtesy of Sac Waldorf's Elijah Newhouse. The North goes up by 7 at the half. Third quarter, Rosemont's Ahmad Ellis goes up and gets this rebound and puts it back for 2 of his 6 points. But on the other end, centers Terrell Reed feeds Elijah Newhouse, who finished with 16. And then another center Cougar, Emmanuel Sims, putting some English on this finish. The North wins 80-69. Josh O'Neal of Bradshaw Christian is the South MVP. And with 16 points, Jacob Gilchrist of 12 Bridges is your North MVP.
Coming out of 12 Bridges, people don't think it's that great of a school. They're like, hey, that's the school where Gilly goes, but really being a pioneer, trailblazer, making it out, putting 12 Bridges on the map. It's a new school, so playing for Coach Ash, had a lot of fun. I love to represent 12 Bridges. Love the school, great school.
Up next is the girls' large schools game. Plenty of firepower on both sides. Here we go. The South gets off to a hot start as Franklin's Olivia Nicholas pops a corner 3. But on the other end, here's a familiar sight. Michelle Rice to her Antelope teammate Isabella Azzolino. That has to please Titan fans everywhere, but the South leads 15-9 after 1. Second quarter, Lincoln's Maya Hodge with the gold shoes, 12 points for the Fighting Zebra. And then Oak Ridge's Jessica Cronell with the and 1. She finished in double figures, and the North is starting to make a run. And here comes Del Oro's Shaylin Perry from outside. It's tough to beat a team full of SFL players. But, we did a story on Kaya Foster of Christian Brothers earlier this year, and her comeback journey culminates in an all-star selection. This is one of her 2 triples on Saturday. We go to the third now. Isabella Azzolino goes for 10 of her 17 points in the second half, but the South is still fighting. Vista Del Lago's Ursula Chen feeds Chidera Okoye of St. Francis, and then here comes Jakayla Gilmer of Vanden on the break all by her lonesome, taking on the whole team for her only bucket. But the North would pull away late. Rockland's Ayla Caston beats the final buzzer, one of 4 players in double figures for the North, who wins 62-49. Chidera Okoye of St. Francis had 13 to win the South MVP, and Isabella Azzolino of Antelope didn't even know this game existed, but she wins the North MVP.
Didn't know about it. I heard that my past teammates at Antelope played, but it was my first time here, and I actually had a teammate with me, Michelle. So it was fun. It was a good environment. I loved it. Playing with all these new girls, getting to have that chemistry with them, it was cool.
And now for the main event on Saturday, the boys' large schools game. The North and South rosters were absolutely stacked with talent. We get things started in the first with Wood Creek's Aiden Triplett. You can't spell triplet without triple, and that's Aiden's specialty. And this is Tyler Rattler's specialty, beating his man off the dribble and getting to the hoop. 8 points for the Sheldon point guard. Now here comes 6'10" Talis Toure of West Park for the baseline jam. Look out below. And then Christian Brothers, Xander Irving Romero was lethal from outside for the South. 4 triples for X on Saturday. Still in the first half, Toure looking for Granite Bay's Davis Abel, who would go on to win the North MVP with 15 points on Saturday. But check out the Delta League MVP, Jaden Woodard of Sheldon, twisting and turning on his way to 21 points, a whirling dervish if I've ever seen one. And here comes the flying Hawaiian, Kainoa Marasco of Rockland. All 8 of his points came in the first half. Now here's the only 209 product in the game. Caden Ward of St. Mary's hits a 3, but just wait until you see what he did later. Closing seconds of the first half, Toure from outside this time, giving the North a 1-point lead at the break. Man, he's become the standard bearer for this West Park basketball program. In the third, this game was played at Sacramento High School, so you know the Lone Dragon representative, Kendall Hearn, was going to show out. A big tomahawk jam right here. And then check out this move. He puts his defender on ice, steps back and buries the three. An ice-cold move from the future Ivy Leaguer. And speaking of cold step backs, check out Jay Washington from Cosumnes Oaks. The one-man Wolfpack had all 13 of his points in the second half, but this next play just shut the whole gym down. Caden Ward of St. Mary's might want to find a safe house or a relative nearby. Lay low for a little while because he's probably wanted for murder. He posterizes a 6'10 dude and one. Caden Ward. That type of stuff will put someone in a psychiatric ward. There's really no need to show you any more highlights after that. The South wins 128-97. Ward was the MVP with 22, none louder than what you just saw.
I had it planned out like the whole game. Everybody was saying like since he's 16, I gotta go try to dunk on him. They knew I was like the bounciest player in practice, so I knew if I just drove right that I was just gonna punch it on him.
So you kind of spoke it into existence.
Yeah, I did for sure.
Man, those Optimist games always provide such a great atmosphere, and it's a great way to cap off the careers of some of the best high school hoopers in the Sacramento area. Well, the rain kept us indoors this week, but that's all right because we got to see some quality boys volleyball, some Sierra Foothill League action between Whitney and Oak Ridge on a rainy Thursday night. Whitney looking to get into the win column in SFL play on Thursday. Oak Ridge looking to flip the switch. Now, there were Trojans all over the court Thursday, those from Oak Ridge, and then this future Trojan, Cale Cochran, a USC commit with an ace up his sleeve to get things going for Whitney. But Oak Ridge comes out swinging as well. Sam Renaud off the feed from Jack Reynolds finds the back corner. And then from the other side, it's Jamie Fraser getting in on the fun to extend the Trojans' lead. And then Oak Ridge closes out the first set in style as Sam Renaud picks up one of his 5 aces on the night, 25-14 Trojans. Set 2 now, Nick Nettleman. If your name is Nick Nettleman, you make big plays at the net. A big block right here. And here's Nettleman again on the next play, taking a cookie out of the cookie jar. Oak Ridge goes up 10-5 at that point. And then more Trojans. This time, Reynolds feeds Phillip Jones, who squares up the back row. A nice balanced attack from Oak Ridge on Thursday. And then the Trojans have set point, but Cale Cochran says not so fast. He keeps Whitney close at 24-22. But Oak Ridge would finish the job as Sam Renaud puts away one of his team-high 6 kills, and Oak Ridge is up 2-0. Wildcats showing some life in the third. Mikey Sajek woke up and chose violence right here. He hammers it home, but the Trojans respond with yet another different hitter. Reynolds hangs it, and Sam Latour bangs it for an early lead. But check out the hustle from the Wildcats. Libero Gavin Roker hits the deck to keep the point alive. Oak Ridge can't get the ball back over. Credit Roker with the hustle points on that play. And how about Mikey Sajek again? You know, if I'm ever in a mosh pit, I think I want that dude on my side. Whitney trying to keep things close, but in the end, it was all Trojans as Nick Nettleman puts away match point. Oak Ridge wins 3-0 and improves to 3-1 in the SFL. Trojan libero Gavin Swade talks about the balance on this Trojan team.
We're always like a very talented team. We have a very balanced team. There's no real standout players. We all mesh really well together because we're all good, but we don't have like one standout player that we just always rely on. So it just feels like it's really good because we have such a balanced team.
Well, our final gamer this week is between 2 longtime crosstown rivals in Roseville and Oakmont. These 2 programs have been battling for decades in every sport, but this time they got to go under the lights at Folsom Lake College on Friday night. Out to Folsom Lake College we go. Oakmont trying to fight off a hot Roseville team, which has won 9 of its last 11 entering Friday. Bottom 1, Roseville catcher Bella Tonso leads the section in homers and RBIs, but here she is showing off the cannon. The UNR commit can do it all. Roseville trying to put together a 2-out rally in the 3rd. Tigers starter Allie McFarland with a single, and then Carissa Avila follows with a knock to get 2 runners on for freshman Sierra Hanna. But Oakmont starter Emily Monell gets Hanna to fly out to Maria Gonzalez in left to end the threat unharmed. We're still scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd. Allie McFarland with one of her 4 strikeouts on the night. She only allowed 2 hits over 5 shutout innings on Friday. Top 4 now. Abby Knopp ropes one down the left field line for a 2-out stand-up double. And the next batter, Jillian Anderson, pops it up for out number 3, right? Wrong. The ball drops in between 2 Oakmont infielders. 2 runs score, and the Tigers take advantage of a costly error. Bottom 4, how about some defense? Roseville third baseman Kylie Crossman getting dirty. The throw from her knees and a beautiful pick by Anderson at first. That keeps Oakmont off the board. Bottom 5 now. You know it always seems to happen that you make a great play in the field, you come in to pick up a big knock at the plate, and Kylie Crossman does just that. The senior delivers an opposite field triple. That scores Carissa Avila, and Roseville is in business. 2 batters later, freshman Carly Curry-Silhanick absolutely buries this ball out to left center for a double. Tigers lead 5-0 after 5. To the 6th now. Roseville's not done at the dish. Sierra Hanna lifts a high fly ball to Maria Gonzalez, who makes a nice grab, crashing into the wall in left. But Hanna does her job with the sac fly. Anderson scores, and it's 6-0. But Oakmont would not go home empty-handed. Bottom 6, the Vikings finally come through as freshman Sydney Creel laces a pinch-hit RBI single to score Chloe Gomes. But Carly Curry-Silhanick comes on to close the game out for Roseville, a 6-1 winner. The Tigers have now won 10 of their last 12.
We had a rough time the first at-bat, but we came back and started making great contact. And sometimes they weren't always the best hits, but we made do with them, and we got the runs in when we needed them. I mean, if we just keep playing how we're playing, we're lights out. We have good hitting, we have good pitching, we have solid defense. All around, when we play to our hardest, we're absolutely lights out, and we've been showing that this season.
Well, thanks again for tuning in to Premier Preps. We really hope you enjoyed this week's show. We'll have another one lined up for you next week. Don't forget you could subscribe to this channel on YouTube, and you can follow me on social media for all kinds of updates from different games around the Sac Joaquin section. Until then, I'm Nick Pecoraro. This is Premier Preps. Thanks for watching. I'm out.